Happy Monday, Seawolves. Thanks for joining us. I'm Leanne Pastori.
And I'm Jaren Tasnim. Hope your week is off to a smooth start. It is already shaping up to be a busy one because let's be honest, Mondays always feel about 3 days long.
Jaren, at this point, I think that my blood type is just coffee. There's 2 weeks left in the semester, so if you haven't buckled down yet, now is the time.
But don't you all worry, Leanne and I are here to help you catch up on everything that's happening, and there's a lot.
Tomorrow marks President Trump's 100th day in office, a symbolic milestone often used to gauge the early direction of a new administration. Trump has done a lot since taking office. It's been a wild run with many changes, and for me personally, a heap of anxiety every minute. Trump's administration has left the U.S. economy up and down and up and down. Pretty scary for those of us who are looking for a job very soon.
For some perspective on our yo-yo economy, here's our own Isha Butt.
The hunger crisis is a real issue facing the world today. According to the 2024 Global Hunger Index, Somalia has the highest hunger score, making it the hungriest country in the world. The index is a composite score based on undernourishment, child underweight, and child mortality rates. Other countries with high hunger scores include Yemen, Chad, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And with the recent tariffs unveiled by Donald J. Trump, this created chaos in Wall Street as stock markets have plummeted and the price of food is increasing. And with the cost of living on Long Island being significantly higher than the national average, many Long Islanders are amongst their own hunger crisis, seeking help from Long Island's first food bank, Long Island Cares. Harry Chapin was a famous singer known for his hits like Taxi and Cats in the Cradle. He had a passion for more than just music, though. He wanted to fight against hunger on Long Island. Years after his unfortunate passing, Paul Pachter took over Long Island Cares as he and his team fulfills his legacy and, as a result, bettering the lives of Long Islanders.
As the regional food bank for Long Island Cares provides nearly 17 million pounds of food to more than 330 community-based organizations comprised of the food pantries, the soup kitchens, and daycare centers, all to provide nutritious meals to families in need. Currently on Long Island, there are 280,000 of our neighbors who struggle with food insecurity every day, and that includes 58,000 children. So the need continues to grow. The cost of goods, inflation, reduction in government funding for some programs such as SNAP, all of this has an impact on people's ability to put food on their table. So if people want to support Long Island Cares, there's many ways to do it. First and foremost, you can come and volunteer. You could make a donation to the organization if you'd like, or you can find any resources regarding hunger and food insecurity right through our website. And if you need food, you can also locate the closest pantry to your home.
I'm actually here representing the Latin American Student Organization at Stony Brook. And it isn't our first time volunteering here, but it is personally my first time. And every semester we just really want to give back to the community and basically bring everyone together.
Harry Chapin built Long Island Cares, and since then it has expanded, providing further outreach to Long Islanders in need. Not only making Long Islanders happy, but the iconic, the legendary Harry Chapin happy as well. Right, Harry? I think Harry agrees. I'm Isha Butt in Hauppauge. I'll see you guys back to the studio.
Combating food insecurity is vital. Perhaps more of our students should consider volunteering.
On a more positive note, for everyone, especially for the international student community at Stony Brook University, the provost of the university, Carl Lejuez, confirmed today that all 11 Stony Brook students whose immigration status was terminated by the federal government have now had their status fully reinstated. Stony Brook was affected by a wave of terminations, impacting over 1,500 international students. Stony Brook's leadership expressed relief and gratitude, noting that the students can now resume to on-campus employment and return their full focus to academic work. It is great to know that Stony Brook, along the SUNY administration, has been very strong in standing behind our international students.
Absolutely. Speaking of positive change, let's take a look outside. Today's weather is giving us a glimpse of what's still to come this spring. Now let's pop outside and check in with Lubna.
Hello, Seawolves. This might be the nicest Monday of all time. No rain, no snow, just a beautiful sunny day out today. It's 66 degrees with a high of 71 and a low of 51. Keep the happy spirits up, and I know you want to have fun in the sun, but make sure you stay on top of all your final assignments as the semester's coming to an end. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Lubna. And finally, after weeks of guessing what season it is, we actually get a real spring day that hopefully stays.
I hope so. There's nothing like going outside and enjoying a little friendly competition. Speaking of competition, Jaren, there's been a lot going on the field this week.
This week is filled with big matchups, playoff races, and a few surprises you might not have seen coming. For all the highlights and maybe a few heartbreaks, let's head over to Adrian's Avenue to check in with the one who actually keeps up with it all. Adrian?
Welcome to Adrian's Avenue, your road to all the sports I care about. I'm your host, Adrian Esposito. Let's start off with my favorites, the New York Yankees. After Friday's loss against the Toronto Blue Jays, Saturday's game on Aaron Judge's birthday got rained out. So the next day was a doubleheader. The Yankees won the first game 11-1, and Michael Kay said it is actually slightly more common to sweep doubleheaders than split them. And the Yankees did just that. Aaron Judge returned to form and hit a home run. Then J.C. Escara, the Uber driver turned backup Yankees catcher, lived his dream by hitting his first ever home run at Yankee Stadium. Look at that smile. The Yankees have a 17-11 record and are first in the AL East. They play the Orioles tonight. The Mets swept both the Cardinals and Phillies at home last week. It was the Mets' first time sweeping a 4-game set against the Cardinals since 1986, but this weekend they lost 2 of 3 to the Washington Nationals. The Mets have not scored more than 5 runs in a game since April 13th, but they are still first in the NL East with a record of 19-9. The Mets continue their series with the Nationals today. Shedeur Sanders, son of former NFL and MLB player Deion Sanders, sure took a long time to get drafted. Since his father is so prolific, the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur in the 5th round as the 144th pick in the draft. The Knicks narrowly edged out the Detroit Pistons in the playoffs yesterday by a score of 94-93. The Knicks now lead Detroit 3-1, and Game 5 will take place tomorrow night. Let's move on to Stony Brook sports. Men's lacrosse won 28-6 on Senior Day, bringing their record to 7-7. This is much better than last year's record of 4-10. Women's lacrosse clinched their 3rd CAA regular season championship in a row under the tutelage of Coach Joe Spallina. This one was over Hofstra, claiming victory in the battle for Long Island. Way to go, ladies! William and Mary swept the baseball team this weekend, but this weekend wasn't a total washout, as Nico Azpilicueta and Eric Paulson Jr. hit some home runs. The rest of the weekend was a washout, though. Their next game is tomorrow at 3:30 against Fairfield. In women's softball news, Gabby Mayday won Pitcher of the Week honors, as softball also had its senior day this weekend. The women shut out crosstown rival Hofstra University and picked up the series win. Softball has a record of 24 wins and 21 losses. The next game is Thursday at Drexel. That's all I have for you on this edition of Adrian's Avenue. This is my last sports segment on The Big Show, but I hope to travel with the Avenue and bring it somewhere else. I've had such a fantastic time discovering my love of sports broadcasting. I would like to thank the incomparable Professor Sanders for this incredible opportunity and wish the best to everyone going forward.
Thanks, Adrian. Definitely some exciting moments there. And while it's heating up in the world of sports, it's warming up outside too.
Leanne, I was duped these past couple of days. It actually felt like spring for a minute. Until wham, the storms came in. I was lucky enough to squeeze in a quick hike before the thunderstorms came in this weekend. Did you get outside at all before the storms moved in?
You know, Jaren, I haven't had much time to go outside. I've been locked away doing schoolwork, but I've been trying to soak up the sunshine whenever I can. Here's our very own ray of California sunshine, Rachel Riddle, with more on what we can expect from this week's weather.
Thanks, Leanne. Well, it's finally starting to feel like spring at Stony Brook, and we're looking at beautiful weather most of this week. Tomorrow, expect sunny skies and a high of 70 and a low of 52 degrees. Wednesday will be a little bit warmer with a high of 72 and a low of 58. However, it will be partly cloudy. Thursday starts to cool down a bit with a high of 63 and a low of 51. On Friday, more warm weather and with a high of 68 and a low of 53 degrees. But for the most important day of this week, there is a 50% chance of thunderstorms. We're all wondering, what will happen to the highly anticipated Roth Regatta, which takes place in and around Roth Pond, if storms roll in? Rain isn't a problem, but thunder and lightning will force a cancellation. And what's the weather like this weekend? More rain, and after the big build up to Friday, who cares? Back to you at the desk.
Looks like Mother Nature is shining upon us for most of this week, Seawolves. Let's not look at Friday. Other than that, I'm so excited to whip out the charcuterie board, Leanne.
You better be inviting me to that charcuterie date, Jaren. That's all for us today at The Big Show, Seawolves. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, Roth Regatta is this Friday. It's one of the biggest events of the year, and this year's theme is Greek mythology. So get ready and get those boats ready too.
Speaking of getting ready, we've got a little sneak peek behind the scenes to get you hyped. Check it out.
Hello everyone, my name is Imra Ahmed.
I'm still winning today, but we'll also be interviewing.
Excited for Roth Regatta? Because I am.
Kind of looks like a swamp right now. Input. You see a microphone.
Other electronic sources.
Make sure to tune in to Roth Regatta Live on May 2nd.
And remember, Seawolves, the weather is finally wonderful. So if you have been glued to your laptop or stuck in the library all day, granted, that is a lot of us right now with finals coming up. Take this sign to get outside and feel that sunshine. Go for a walk, toss a volleyball, or just sit in the sun and pretend you're studying. Trust, we won't tell.
I agree with Jaren. Go get some fresh air, Seawolves. You've earned it. We'll be back next week for our final big show of the spring semester. Bye, Seawolves.
This is The Big Show. The Big Show.